Fionn Mac Cumhaill at morning light rode out with warriors armoured bright. He led the Fianna proud and true to chase the deer through mist and dew. The Fianna guards of Ireland's grace left McCool their noble place, but one they left behind to stay. Young Oisin watched while they were away, a poet's son of Fionn the wise, with starlit thoughts and seer's eyes. He held the hearth and kept the flame until the hunters homeward came. The moon began to rise. A woman came with shadowed eyes. Her cloak was worn, her hair was red, a ring of silver upon her head. She moved with grace, though travel-worn, like one both wild and nobly born. Her voice was low, her manner plain, yet something strange ran through her vein. "O son of Fionn," she softly said, "who guards this hall while kin have fled? I seek no harm, nor gift, nor song, but ask for rest the whole night long." For duty bound him tight, to keep the hall through darkest night. Yet as she spoke a silence fell, and in her gaze there stirred a spell. "Refuse me not," she said at last, "or sorrow deep shall hold you fast. By ancient bond I lay this thread, one night to share your fire and bed." He felt the gaze upon his will, a force both cold and aching still. He gave a nod and let her stay, and by first light she slipped away. The seasons turned, the years went by, the fire burned low, the ash ran dry. Yet something stirred in fate's design, a branch long lost would seek its line. One day beneath the forest green, where light through leafy boughs was seen, the Fianna paused in hunt and song, for hoofbeats drew the hush along. A rider came with sun-kissed skin, his hair wind-tossed, his frame was thin, but in his eyes a fire burned bright, a lion's gaze unshaken might. His voice was strange, not of their land, yet clear the words and firm the stand. And Fionn stepped forth, his voice held still, "What brings you, lad, through wood and hill? I've crossed the sea and mountain steep, through nights of hunger, no days of sleep, to find the warrior spoken wide, and stand at brave Fionn's noble side." Then Fionn, the bald and brash, let out a laugh both loud and rash. "What's this?" he cried, "a foreign stray, a sunburned pup who's lost his way?" "Perhaps," the youth said with a grin, "but better tan than bare of skin. And tell me, does that sheep you wear still bleat each time you climb the stair?" The Fianna roared with a wild delight, as Fionn flushed and clenched his might. But Mac Cumhaill scowled and rose, his hands like stones, his stare like blows. "You mouth too much," said Gall, and stood, "Come show us if your sword is good." The youth just bowed and met his stance, and leapt ahead before the chance. The blades rang once, then twice, then done. The stranger's sword had near won. He struck the shield from Gall's left hand, and spun him reeling where he'd stand. But then he stopped and held his breath, and spared the blow that might mean death. The Fianna stared in shocked surprise, as Fionn looked on with narrowed eyes. Then Fionn stepped forth through fern and shade, his cloak about his shoulders laid. His voice was calm, his bearing proud, though all the Fianna stood hushed and bowed. "You've mocked our wit and matched our might, you fought with skill yet spared in fight. So answer now without disguise, what name you bear and from what skies?" The stranger paused and drew a breath, as though he spoke of life and death. "I live beneath the southern sky, where olives grow and eagles fly. My mother raised me lone and proud, she spoke in whispers never loud. She taught me sword and song and lore, but always left one question sore. Who was the man who gave me name? Who was the spark that lit my flame? And when I pressed, she turned away, until one fated bitter day, a boy one day called me a lie, a bastard with no name to die. That night she wept and told me true, your father walks cross ocean blue. His name is sung in Irish air, Oisin of Fionn, the poet fair." Then Oisin rose with quiet breath, as if he'd walked from sleep or death. He scanned the boy from toe to brow, and time stood still between them now. "I knew a night," he said at last, "long buried in the silent past. A voice of flame, a geist laid bare, and silver shining in her hair. The ring of truth is in your tone, your voice, your strength, they match my own. You are the fruit of fate's own art, my son, my blood, my beating heart." Then Fionn with pride and bearing grand looked round upon his warrior band. "Let all bear witness, hear me say, this youth shall take his name today. No longer nameless, cast afar, he is a flame, a rising star. By strength and soul and ancient right, let him be Oscar bold and dry."